Hello everybody, welcome to the Florida Physique Report, episode number 34. I am your host, John Hansen, and we are reporting live from the Powerhouse Gym in downtown Tampa, the official Florida Physique headquarters. Today is Thursday, May 21st, 2015. And on today's show, we're going to be talking about the results of last week's competition. We had two competitions taking place last weekend, two very big shows. The first one was the Naples-Bonita Classic, which took place in Immokalee, Florida, right by Naples. I was there at that show. We did some interviews, and we've got the contest report up on FloridaPhysique.com. So we're going to talk about the results of that in a minute. And we also have the results of the Riptide Classic. We're going to be joined by Dan Eslinger from D4 Muscle Fitness in a minute. And Dan is going to talk about the results of that contest. He also took pictures of that show. So we have the full report of that show up on FloridaPhysique.com as well. As far as the shows this weekend, on May 23rd, we got the Florida Grand Prix, which takes place in Lake Worth, Florida, down south. And that's going to be a national qualifier, so it should be a really big show. We've also got the Progress and Pride Classic, which takes place in Bonita Springs, same place where the Naples-Bonita Classic took place last year. This is a brand new show, first year, and Bryan Raymond is the promoter. And we've got an interview with Bryan Raymond coming up right after we talk to Dan Eslinger. So you want to stay tuned for that. Bryan's going to talk about what he's got in store for the very first Progress and Pride Classic, which takes place this weekend. After that, on May 30th, we've got my competition, which is the Natural Suncoast Classic. So that's going to take place in Tampa, Florida. It's a drug-tested competition. We've got now 3 guest posers at the show. Jose Raymond is going to be coming. It's going to be his first appearance in Tampa, Florida. And then we got Santiago Aragon is also going to be guest posing. And finally, we've got Aaron Reed, who is a bodybuilder that works out right here at the Powerhouse Gym. Aaron is 6'8", probably one of the tallest bodybuilders in the world. And he's in fantastic condition. He's getting in shape for the Tampa Bay Classic, which takes place the first weekend in June. So Aaron looks fantastic. He's a great poser, a real classical poser. So he'll fit right in at the Natural Suncoast Classic. So I'm really excited about having him. Also, Jose Raymond's going to be doing a seminar that day at 3 p.m. So come by and check him out. You get to talk to Jose for an hour and a half, where he talks about his training and his nutrition, and you get to talk to Jose one-on-one. And Jose is one of the more personable pros in the sport, so he's really a great guy, and you're really going to want to meet him. So don't miss that opportunity. Go to naturalsuncoastclassic.com for more information on that contest. You can buy tickets online, or if you want to enter, you still got a few days to enter before we get that late fee. So it's going to be a great show. I'm really looking forward to it. Also on the 30th is the Junior USA, which is our first national level show of the year, and that will take place in Charleston, South Carolina. And also Tim Gardner is putting on his very first Puerto Rican Pro-Am competition out in Puerto Rico. So that's going to be a really interesting show. I know there's a lot of people from the Tampa area, both pros and amateurs, who are going in that contest. All right, so let's go over the results of the Naples-Bonita Classic. It took place out in Immokalee, Florida, which is a casino out there, and it was a great venue, and it was the second year that they had the competition. Paco Hernandez is the promoter, along with his partner Gio, and they do a great job. It's almost like a Las Vegas style production. It's always very well done, and it was a great show last year. They had like 100 competitors last year. I think they had over 130 this year with the crossovers. And these guys are really great promoters in the sport of Florida, and they're really taking off. They've got a Pro-Am show coming up this summer on August 29th out in Naples at the Ritz-Carlton Hotel, which that should be a really great show. And then they're finishing off the year. They got the last competition of the year called the NPC Winter Classic, which is going to take place in Fort Lauderdale. So they are really kicking butt on the Florida scene, and they're great promoters. If you haven't seen one of their shows, you definitely want to check them out. So let's talk about the results from the Naples-Bonita Classic. We'll start with the Masters Men's Bodybuilding. They had an over 60 division. Peter Finch was the winner over Otto Diatali. Peter, I believe, is about 75 years old. This guy's an amazing bodybuilder, and he was not in top shape this time, but I think he's getting ready for some of the national level shows, probably the Masters Nationals this summer. So he's just an incredible bodybuilder for 75 years old to look like that. And the Masters Men Bodybuilding over 50, John Contino was the winner, and John was very impressive. I believe he was 50 years old exactly. He's an orthopedic surgeon out in Naples, and I believe from the bio they read he hadn't competed in 20 years. So I wanted to get John on the show this week, but he's on vacation, well-deserved vacation after winning last week. So maybe we can get to talk to him next week. But John was in first place with Scott Keaton in second and Carl Bowmaster in third place. The Masters Men Bodybuilding over 40, Mike Keel was the winner, and I've seen Mike compete at this show last year. And then in the Masters Men Bodybuilding over 35, Brian Schmidt was the winner. All right, then we go over to the men's bodybuilding in the novice class. The lightweight class was won by Cameron Keene. He was the only competitor, but really good physique. He had nice shape, good muscle size. Just come in a little bit harder next time and keep making improvements. He'll be a really good competitor in the future. And the middleweight class, that was won by Juan Aganaga. And then the heavyweight class went to Brian Beller, with Brian winning the overall, and we did an interview with him on FloridaPhysique.com. Looks really good, 22 years old. This kid's got a great future. No, I believe he's 21 years old. So really good future for Brian. Then we go to the Masters division. In the figure Masters over 45, Sheila Hand was the winner. Some good competition in that division. And then in the Masters figure over 35, Hazel Schmidt was the winner. And Hazel looked really good symmetry, really good shape. She's done really well in the figure division before. She actually went from bikini to figure, and she's really made some great improvements. Then we go to the figure open division. Tamika Williams was the winner in the Class A. Tamika had really good shape, very wide shoulders, small waist, real good genetics. And the Class B, Hazel Schmidt, who was the winner in the Masters, won first place in the Open in Class B. And she had some really good competition in that class. And then in Class C, Lindsay McKnight was the winner there. And then in the overall, Hazel Schmidt was the winner for the figure open. Women's Physique Open only had one competitor, Veronica Curti, so she was first place there. And the Men's Physique Masters, Ernest Wu, who I saw compete in this area last year, he took first place in the over 45. Ernest isn't one of the bigger guys, but they went with the more of traditional men's physique look, and he was a well-deserving winner. Men's Physique Masters over 35, Anthony DeSaro was first place, and Anthony was in incredible shape. Great ab development on Anthony, and he had some good competition, but really cleaned up in that class. He looked fantastic. Going into the Men's Physique Novice, Brandon Collier was second place with Jamil Isat in first place. In the Men's Physique Novice on Class B, Brian Roberts was first place with Blake Dusenberry in second place and Christopher Quellies in third place. And then going over to the Men's Physique Novice Class C, Max Stevens was the winner there with Christopher Leone in second place and Ian Elliott in third place. And then in the overall, Max Stevens, the winner of Class C, won the overall Men's Physique Novice. And then we go to the Men's Physique Open. Class A only had two competitors. Jamil Isat won first place again over Carlos Perez. In Class B, Kieran Phoenix, who was a really muscular, really well-developed physique, almost looked like a bodybuilder. He took first place with Alex Paez in second place and Joseph Amorosi in third place. All right, the Men's Physique Open Class C, David Patterson was the winner. David looked really good, very lean physique. Could tell he's got some stage experience. Tyler Pojalian was in second place. Tyler was also really well developed, good chest and shoulders. Just could have been maybe a little bit leaner. And then Brian Roberts was in third place. So that was a very, very tough class. And then Men's Physique Open Class D, Anthony DeSaro, who was the winner in the over 35, was again the winner here. First place. Max Stevens, who was the novice winner, was in second place. And Christopher Leone, who, another young guy, I think it was his first show. He looked really good. Good smile, good physique, good abs. He was in third place. Then in the overall, very interesting, they had a three-way tie between Max Stevens, David Patterson, and Kieran Phoenix, three-way tie, and they had to break that tie twice in order to get the winner, and the winner was David Patterson, men's physique overall winner. So that was a really good competition there. All right, moving on to the bikini. Teen bikini was won by Tiffany Silverman with Victoria Futch in second place and Amanda Kula in third place. Bikini Masters over 35, Lori Longo was in first place with Chanel Harleston in second place. We'll go over to the Bikini Novice, Class A, very competitive. First place went to Dawn Gormley, who was competing in her very first show. And the look on Dawn's face when she won was priceless. She was really surprised to even place in the top three. She just wanted to get a trophy, and she ended up winning the whole class. Class B went to Rachel Gonzalez, and then Class C in the Novice Bikini went to Vida Shativan. And then in the overall, Dawn Gormley, competing in her very first show, won the overall. So that was really good. Then we move on to the Bikini Open class, always a very tough division, a lot of competitors as usual. Tracy Sejanik was in first place in Class A. Class B went to Monica Flesher, also competing in her very first contest. Class C went to Brittany Kruenball. Brittany had a really good look, good smile, good stage presence. Class D went to Vida Shedviden, who also won her class in the novice. So very tough divisions. And in the overall, Monica Flesher, competing in her very first contest, pretty dominant winner in the bikini division. All right, and then finally we'll finish off with the men's bodybuilding open. Lightweight class went to Jose Cerez. Jose only beat out a couple other competitors. Mike Keel was second, Cameron Keene was third, but Jose was shredded. I mean, really shredded. His legs, his back. This guy was in awesome condition. Wasn't even really training for this show. He was really getting ready for the Bill Wilmore, which is coming up in a few more weeks. But his coach, AJ Sims, decided to throw them into this just to try it out, and he just dominated the class with his shredded condition. Men's bodybuilding middleweight class went to Nestor DeSaro with Italo Moran in second place. And then the men's bodybuilding light heavyweight class, Aaron Bathory, really good shape, good condition. He's got a good future, really good leg development on Aaron. He took first place over John Contino, the over 50 winner. John was in great condition also. And Brian Schmidt was in third place. And then in the heavyweight class, Adam Andler took first place. Adam had a lot of thickness, a lot of size all over. Really good back, leg development, good arm development. Just needs to come in a little bit harder. If he comes in harder, he's going to do really well because he's got the size. Anthony Rowick was second, and Adam Bialik was third. Then in the overall, it looked like it was a battle between Aaron Bathory, who was the light heavyweight winner, and Jose Suarez, who was the lightweight winner. And then in a surprise decision, Jose Suarez, the lightweight winner, won the overall. But he deserved it because the guy was really, really shredded. You can't take it away from him. All right, so that was it for the Naples-Bonita Classic. Really, really good competition. They had 4 guest posers. Karina Nascimento, who of course is one of the top IFBB Pro women's physique competitors, she guest posed, along with Eric Ramirez, who is now a professional bodybuilder after winning his pro card last year at the North America. Hide Yamagishi was one of the posers. He was a great guest poser. Really, really good posing routine. Hidetada is one of the great posers in bodybuilding right now. I know we always talk about how so many professionals don't know how to pose, but Hidetada did a great routine, perfectly choreographed to the music, so he was in great shape. And then they also had Joseph Jaciel, who was the winner last year at this competition. And Joseph was in shredded condition. I don't know what he's getting ready for, but that guy looked stage ready. He looked like more ripped than any of the other competitors that night. So 4 really good guest posers, a really great show. So another great competition by promoters Paco Hernandez and Giovanni Conigliara, and they did another great job. These guys are really great promoters in the Florida area, like I said. Make sure you go to their contest in August 29th out in Naples. That's going to be a really great event. All right, we're going to take a break and hear from our sponsors, and when we come back, we're going to be joined by Dan Eslinger for his report of the Riptide Classic, which took place in Panama City Beach last weekend. And then we're going to have our interview with Bryan Raymond, who is the promoter of the Progress and Pride competition that's taking place this weekend in Bonita Springs. All right, let's hear from our sponsors. When we come back, we'll be joined by Dan Eslinger. We'll be right back with the Florida Physique Report. All right, welcome back to the Florida Physique Report, and now my guest is Dan Eslinger from D4 Muscle and Fitness. How you doing, Dan?
I'm all right. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. So usually we do this interview by Skype, but today you were able to come into the Florida Physique Studios here at Powerhouse Gym. How do you like our new banner there?
Pretty good. It makes my cameo feel that much more important.
That's right, we did it for you. All right, let's talk about this Riptide. This took place, I think it was in Panama City Beach, right?
Yeah, very good show. Obviously, if you know anything about Tim Gardner, he runs, very good, very tight run shows.
Right.
The venue was spectacular, and it just seems like every show that I go to that Tim is promoting, it's like, how can he outdo himself from the last show? And somehow, some way, he keeps putting forth these top-notch promotions. I covered the last show that he promoted, the Rampage, is it?
Yeah, the first one of the year, right?
Yeah. And and then you go here to the Riptide, and he just somehow, some way, he just keeps putting on these spectacular performances. And Tim wears so many different hats in this industry. He's got his Team Body Tech and Tim Gardner Promotions, and he's a Beverly International distributor, and he's an all-around good guy. But he's got this show promotion thing. He got it down.
Yeah.
So very good show.
Then you got a lot of competitors too, right?
Yeah, I think he had somewhere around 140 to 140 to 150 heads, somewhere around there. So good turnout. And once again, been to many shows in my lifespan so far. Whether spectating or competing, and some shows you go to, and with all due respect to the competitors, I won't ever dog anybody, but sometimes you have some shows, it is what it is. Some shows have better talent than others.
Right.
Some shows are more reputable for having higher quality talent. Some are known for having a little less, to be politically correct.
Right.
But the Riptide was, everybody looked good.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Okay.
So.
All right, let's talk about the results. I got the results here in front of me. All right, we'll start with the Masters Men's Bodybuilding and the over 50. Gary Hughes Sr. was the winner, and I think I've seen him before. Really in good condition for an over 50 competitor.
Yeah, I actually I competed against him in 2009, I believe, in the Panhandle Showdown up in Pensacola.
Uh-huh.
And of course, I don't know how old he was back then, but even guy has phenomenal shape, phenomenal structure. He has really good thin skin.
Yeah, I could see that from the pictures.
You can visually see all his muscles.
Right.
So it's like, when he stands up there, he does not leave for any guessing. His muscles just, they just pop. And I don't know if it's, genetics, what it is, but whoever he gets it from, he's got that really thin skin.
It's got to be a great advantage for over 50, because that's the hard thing when you get over.
That's the whole thing. When he walked out and said he's over 50, I'm like,
yeah.
It's just, I guess some of these guys, as we've touched on in prior shows, doesn't matter what their age are. Some of them just have years of iron on their frame.
Right.
So.
All right, then the over 40, John Puskarich, who's been on our show several times. He's done a couple of our Florida Physique reports. He's a veteran competitor. I think he's competed in over 100 shows, and he's already done, I think, probably 4 or 5 shows this year already, and he's going to do my show, the Natural Suncoast, in 2 weeks.
Yeah, he's it's like the fountain of youth, Energizer Bunny, something. He just keeps going. It's like everywhere I go now, he's just there.
Right.
And he's there with his little classic posing style, which I really find to be, I find it to be entertaining, because you just don't nowadays, especially a lot of bodybuilders. I'm guilty of it. For their individual routine when they go out for the evening show, they usually hit their 8 poses and peace out. And he gets his he wraps his legs up in twister movements and gets his arms all the way around his back, and starts pretending he's Sugar Sean, and, but it is entertaining.
Now, did they have an overall Masters, Dan, or was it just the classes?
No, they just had the classes.
Okay. All right, then we go to the novice bodybuilding. William Kima was the winner with Derek Littlewood second and Benjamin McGee in third.
Yeah, the novice class, this novice class actually, was, I don't want to say it was a little bit higher than what we would compare to other novice classes. I mean, the guys look good.
Yeah.
And the physiques were comparable to that in the open class.
Okay. And then teenage, they only had one teenager. How did he look? Elliot James Durmond.
For a teenager, he looked really damn good.
Pretty thick.
Yeah, real thick. I mean, if of course, we talk about, the amount of, at that age, you can only expect so much from a dryness standpoint, a crispness standpoint. I mean, of course, that's what's good about the novice and the teen divisions, is that their bodies aren't expected to be that of what, an open competitor is. And so, however, as a teen, looked a hell of a lot better than I did at 18, 19 years old, however old he was. So, hats off to him, and to step on stage and to have the amount of muscle density that he did.
Yeah,
good for the young man.
Hopefully he'll keep going. And then they had a fitness competition. Melissa Kozad was in first, and Tanya Denise Standifer was second. Not too many fitness competitions in most of the shows nowadays.
No, but again, as far as the quality of the competition, the two competitors looked really good. There was the one female was who later on even competed in bikini that I saw that crossed over.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she was doing one-arm push-ups and damn near able to kick her leg all the way up, almost kick herself in the forehead. So I don't know how they do it. I mean, me personally, I'd tear a hamstring.
Yeah, I love fitness. I love seeing the routines. When I promoted shows, when I first started promoting shows, we used to always start with the fitness because it was always so entertaining and get the crowd off to a good start.
Right. Well, I had always, I've always been a fan of Tanji Johnson.
Yeah.
She always puts on, as far as, fitness, I mean, if there's any weakness in, I guess, my vision as far as judging is concerned, I would not know how to judge those women when it comes to their routine, because I just get so enamored in the back flips and the high kicks and, as I touched on, the one-arm push-ups. And, I mean, Lord, we're here in Powerhouse, and I could probably go out here and 99% of these men probably couldn't do one-arm push-ups,
right.
Let alone women.
Without tearing something.
Right.
All right, let's go over to the figure masters. Over 40 looked really tough. They had 5 competitors. Top 3 looked good. Sandra Pugh was first place. Tira Hughes was second. And Tammy Barnhill was third.
Yeah, the first place, very well deserved. Nice small midsection. Had a good taper in her waist. Not extremely big clavicle base, but her delts were clearly refined, real nice. Second place, couldn't have been that far off. Third place, I thought, probably brought a little bit too much muscle to the class.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, she looked like maybe she, could have been maybe 2-3 weeks out from a physique competition.
Oh, really?
So,
okay.
But very, very beautiful physique. Not taking anything away from her, just had a lot of muscle on her frame.
Yeah.
So.
I noticed that at the Naples-Bonita over the weekend too, and in a Masters figure, there was a couple girls that were pretty muscular, almost look on the verge of women's physique, and they didn't win. They didn't place high. So I guess the judges are looking down on that, if the physiques are too muscular for figure.
As lately you've been reading a lot online, they've been touching basis a lot about the waistlines.
Yeah.
And, let's be real, it's not only men where the waistlines are getting out of control. There's a lot of females out there with, distended stomachs and wide blocky waists, etc.
Yeah.
And, you know, it will be nice to see when, you know, even at the female, especially in figure, because when you think of figure, you know, you think of the classic hourglass physique.
Yeah, like Victoria Watts or something.
Yeah, you know, and the reason why I say the classic hourglass physique is because the swimsuit that the figure athletes wear is something replicated out of the early 80s, you know, with the high waistlines on the suits.
Yeah.
You know, they have a very classic looking suit. So then therefore the classic looking suit you would think would reward a very classic physique.
Yeah.
And that would be of a female with a very hourglass shape, you know, as they taper in from the lats into a small waist, you know, obviously let their legs come sweep out. And,
right.
You know, as we spoke on before, you know, one man's trash is one man's treasure. And, you know, when it's come to judging, you know, whether it be a 5-judge panel, 7-judge panel, 9-judge panel, it's, you know, then again, you know, we all know how subjective the sport is.
Yeah.
So.
All right, now in over 30 figure masters, Maria Martinova was first place with Melinda Dale in second.
Yeah, those two, they're, I mean, both very good physiques. I'm surprised that the over 30 didn't have more competitors than...
Only 2 competitors.
Yeah, only 2 competitors. I'm surprised, you know, because a lot of these over 30 girls, you know, are now coming of age to when they were competing in their 20s and figure in the open. And,
yeah,
you know, but it's, you know, it is hit or miss, but, you know, the winner of the over 30, it was a well-deserved win.
Okay. Then we go to the novice figure. It looks like they had about 6 competitors, and Adriana Cerrisos was first place with Stacy Harper second and Nancy Mace Halaria. If I'm saying that right, I'm probably not. She got third place.
Yeah, Adriana had, again, as we talked about, the, you know, the classic look.
Yeah.
That's what she presented. And so it was nice to see, you know, that's what was rewarded in that class, because, you know, she did bring that very typical hourglass look.
Okay. All right, then we go to the open figure division. Diane Stewart was the winner in the short class with Maria Martinova in second this time, and Melissa Kozad, who I believe was the fitness girl you talked about, she was in third place.
Yeah, you know, that whole class, 1 through 5, you know, 5th place going to Courtney McIntyre. Very good suit, very good color. All of them presented different looks. And 5th place, Courtney, had, again, that classic look that we could be appreciative of. Shoulders could have been a little bit bigger, back could have had a little bit more detail. As far as I know, she's competing at your show.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, great.
She's a lifelong natural athlete, from what I understand. And then I know that she was edged out by Tammy Barnhill.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look at that Class A, no 5 physiques looked alike. So as far as saying which physique is the best, I don't know, because they all look different. I think it all just, you know, boiled down to how many the judges' consensus, because, you know, did you take hardness, you know, over detail or muscularity or shape, symmetry, what have you. And so, you know, all of them presented a totally different structure.
Okay.
The winner was the rightful winner. As far as 2nd through 5th place, I would have hated to have been the judges on that one, because I would not have known which way to go.
And then moving on into the figure open tall class, Krista Wharton was the winner with Melinda Dale second, Nabori Perez in third, and Heather Foskey in fourth.
Yeah, that was a good class. All 3 of the girls in that class, they all came in shape. All of them had good shoulder symmetry, had very good back density. All of them had, you know, good lower body shape.
Mm-hmm.
The 1st through 3rd, I don't know what the scorecard looked like, but couldn't have been an overly a huge difference.
Diane Stewart won the overall.
Yeah, Diane Stewart. I believe I saw her last year at the All South. Has muscle on top of muscle, and you know, that suit selection was kind of questionable. I always say that orange is the kiss of death on a female because it's so close to the color of bronze.
Yeah, that's true.
That it's hard to plug the lines from that physique. But if that just goes to show you how crisp she was,
yeah,
she had an orange suit and won the overall.
Yeah.
So you know, if you're wearing orange and you got that much detail.
Yeah, she looked good from the pictures you sent me.
Yeah.
Then we go to women's physique. They had 3 competitors in women's physique. Colby Dukas was in first place with Megan Oldorf in second, and Cameron Weatherington in third.
Yeah, the physique class, the winner, good shape, good structure, had nice flowing lines, had no real overpowering body parts, but had no real glaring flaws. Mm-hmm. A very well deserved win.
Pretty muscular too, huh?
Yeah, definitely.
All right, then we go over to men's physique. In the Masters division, over 40, Nelson Yambo was first with Greg Smith in second and Tim Price in third.
That was a runaway win for Nelson. Yeah. He, when he came out, I think the other guys, you could tell by the look on their face that they all knew that
got straight first.
Yeah, they knew that it was his time.
All right, and moving on to the novice men's physique, looks like they had about 6 competitors. Emilio Rodriguez was in first place over Nelson Yambo.
Yeah, Nelson Yambo couldn't have been that far off as far as points go, because I had Nelson and Emilio neck and neck. Mm-hmm. When I say neck and neck, it could have been a tie for first, and usually one competitor does something to edge the other competitor out. Yeah. Whether it be in posing or in their look or, shape, symmetry, all the other things that go into detail. And, neither one of them did anything to separate themselves from the others. But for some reason, I think given the fact that Nelson hung neck and neck with those younger guys, and in my eyes, that was like the one thing that stuck out to me. Yeah, definitely. And I should mention Blake Williams was third, Shane Murphy fourth, and Chase Petty fifth with Greg Smith in sixth. All right, then we go over to Opens men's physique. In the medium class, Matt Worth, who I just saw at the Seminole Classic, had a really nice physique. He took first place again with Noel Gonzalez in second, Jimmy Martin in third, Angel Mayorga in fourth, and Kevin Utke in fifth. Yeah, first place, they got that one down. Matt Worth, good win. He was the clear-cut winner. Yeah. At least, from where I was sitting right behind Pete Potter. As far as it was really tight between second, third, fourth, and fifth. I could have given fifth place, second place, and vice versa. Mm-hmm. So all those guys, these physique guys, man, they pack so much underneath their skin and they get so dry. Yeah. That. Well, Matt Worth seems like he's got a good structure from when I saw him in the Seminole. Real wide shoulders and. Yeah, I think Noel Gonzalez, he just packs on just a little bit more muscle. Mm-hmm. He posed a little taller than what his actual physique is. Okay. And so then therefore, when you pose real tall, it makes your muscles appear longer. Yeah. And if you're gonna give the presentation of longer muscles, they need to be big. Yeah. Big and full. That's a good point. So. And then moving on to the tall class, Jeremy Franklin was the winner with Ruben Brook second, Leo McKenzie in third place. Yeah. Very. That class, I 1, 2, and 3, right where it should have been. So all those guys, they all did their homework, all came to play.
And Matt Worth won the overall on that one.
Yeah, that, and which is, again, if it goes to show you that how well he did, not taking anything away from any of the other guys, but the guys that he beat in his class, if he wasn't in that class, then somebody else from his class would have probably won the overall.
Yeah.
So he well deserved win.
And then we go into bikini. They had a team bikini with TJ Arrington in first place and Austin Files in second.
Austin Files, the girl in second place. I thought she looked better from the front. She had a much clearer. It was much clearer that she was a lot flatter in the stomach.
Mm-hmm.
The other team, TJ, seemed to have a little bit of stomach distension.
Okay.
Seemed to be a little confused on her posing. The one girl that was in second, Austin Files, was very receptive on her posing. Her turns were crisp, her walk back and forth was crisp, to where TJ kind of stutter-stepped a little bit and seemed a little confused up there. But when TJ turned around, glutes had very good glutes, very good hamstring separation, very good shape in her quads from the rear. And they say shows are won from the back, so if that's the way that they went, then TJ was the clear winner.
Okay.
I guess maybe they felt like her perfections on stage outweighed her imperfections.
Yeah.
So.
All right, then we go to novice bikini, always a big division. Heather Jackson was the winner with Nadia Samarina Weatherholtz in second and Jen Messer in third.
Yeah, Heather Jackson posing, her posing, her density, her structure, her overall look.
Yeah.
When she came on stage, you could just. There she is.
Okay.
So, there was another girl. I don't know what her number was. Let's see. I think it was number 60. There was another girl number 60.
Jen Messer.
Jen Messer.
Familiar name. I've seen her compete before in the Panhandle.
Yeah. I didn't remember. I don't remember seeing her. However, when she came out, though, she really grabbed my eye.
Okay.
Posing, her look. She just makes a couple minor tweaks. Comes in a little drier.
Okay.
Maybe just a tad harder.
Okay.
She not only will win the novice, but she'll just go ahead and she'll take an open also.
Okay. Then we go over to the Masters Bikini over 30. Sandra Acosta was first place. Michelle Landis in second. And Manika Palmer third with Pamela Wilson fourth.
Yeah, Sandra Acosta, age is only a number when it comes to these females, because it just seems like, all these, crazy nice physiques are coming, especially in bikini.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's, they hit a midlife crisis and they just start training insane or what it is, but maybe it could be me with my age, the fact that I'm almost at, that I'm about 5 years away from 40, but
yeah,
at 30, these women are coming in, locked and loaded. I mean, they look great.
Yeah.
So, and Sandra's a prime example.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the Bikini Open. Short class, Carla Fort was the winner with Miko Bricky in second and Marianne Mandeville in third.
Yeah, Miko Bricky changed her look up a little bit from the previous show that she did in Tallahassee.
Yeah.
She did Tim Gardner's the
Renegade.
The Renegade. And Tim, if you're watching, sorry, didn't mean to jack the name up. I called it Rampage earlier, but it is Renegade. Nico changed up her look a little bit, almost to the point where I didn't recognize her. I didn't know that was Nico up there.
I remember you talking about her at the Renegade.
Yeah, to where when she came out at the Renegade, she wowed me. It's like, whoa. And I work with close to 10 IFBB bikini professionals, a handful of IFBB figure pros, and countless numbers of national level female bikini competitors. So for one to grab my attention,
Yeah.
you know, they've got to have something from a standout point of view, because when you're consistently working with the higher echelon, you know,
Right.
you're working with the ones that stand out.
Right.
So, you know, she stood out to me at the Renegade. She obviously came up, you know, she stepped up to the plate by coming in second place in the Riptide being a bigger show, a national qualifier, steeper competition. So, you know, good for her for finishing second. Not taking anything away from the winner,
Carla, yeah.
Carla, because Carla did an outstanding job, and I'm pretty sure that Carla had ones across the board. But Miko, you know,
It was actually tied.
yeah. See, that's as what I was about to tell you. Going
Yeah.
into what I was about to say, Miko could not have been far behind. So, I mean, I told you last show, or when she competed at the Renegade, and I told you she had a bright future.
Yeah, you're right. All right, going to the tall class, Sabrina Parker is in first place with Renee Wanamaker in second and Sandra Acosta again in third place.
Yeah, Sabrina had my vote from the get-go. As far as her winning, she's another one who I wouldn't have been surprised if she had ones all the way across the board.
Yeah.
I mean, when she came out, I was sitting there, you know, getting happy birthday wishes from everybody, and she walked out, and I actually answered a couple of my birthday, you know, messages, because when she walked out, I knew.
Yeah.
I knew
That's right. That was your birthday.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I knew that she had won. She was the clear-cut winner.
Yeah. All right, that was actually the medium class. Then the tall class, Veronica Stanley was the winner with Brittany Rucker in second and Amy Miles in third, and Jen Messer again in fourth.
Yeah, a very, very tough class. That one was one of those ones to where I was glad that I was sitting in the audience and not on the judging panel.
Yeah.
So, and you know, the overall winner clearly well deserved.
Who was the overall winner?
Carla
Ford.
Carla Ford, from Atlanta. I actually met her last year in nationals. One of the national level competitors that I coach. In some way, shape, or form, she coaches Carla somehow.
Okay.
I don't know if it's whether it's posing or nutrition, or somehow she is associated with her show prep.
Okay.
But Carla, as we were talking about earlier about suit selection, Carla has very beautiful black skin, and she has very long sheen hair. It's very hard for a lot of women to pull off a yellow suit. Mm-hmm. However, due to the contrast of her skin in that yellow suit, up against the blue background that the Riptide presented, underneath that lighting, it just made everything just.
Wow.
I guarantee you now. Here's crazy: is that if Carla would have went with any different suit color, then Miko probably would have beat her.
Yeah.
But if any bikini girls are watching out there, it just goes to show you how important your suit color, your suit cut, you know, how important it is, not only to the contrast of your skin and your hair and your shape, but also to the backdrop of the stage.
Right.
Because with all those different colors, that yellow just made every muscle part in her body just whoop, you know, just pop right out.
That's interesting.
So good, but you know, good victory for Carla. I'm sure, you know, she's going to do well in the future.
Okay. All right, and then finally we go to the men's bodybuilding open. They didn't have a lightweight class, but they have a middleweight class with Alex Rivera in first place, Mike Knowles was second, and John Puskarich was third.
Yeah, I'm glad that Alex got the win. Military, Army, always like seeing that.
Yeah.
You know, because due to the nature and the strenuous day-to-day activity that comes along with being a military bodybuilder, having been one myself, your schedule is not really conducive to show prep.
Yeah.
So anybody that is able to, you know, anybody that's able to put forth the physique like Alex did for a show, and also while serving our country in whatever capacity it may be, you know, hats off to him. I actually had the opportunity to talk to his coach, Joel Argone, And me and Joel competed against each other in an overall a couple years back. He beat me, for those who want to know. But you know, it's good to see that, you know, you don't see a lot. For one, you don't see a lot of military bodybuilders that are able to achieve that type of conditioning and that type of muscularity, because let's be real, the cardio isn't conducive to bodybuilding.
Yeah, you got to run.
You got to run. Your diet is not conducive to bodybuilding because you're not able to control when you can eat.
Right.
Work schedule is not conducive to weightlifting because you don't know when the hell you're getting off of work.
Right, right.
So to put forth that type of physique at any level for bodybuilding, man, you know, it makes me, it just, you know, tickles me pink.
All right, then we go to the light heavyweight class. This looks like a very tough class. Christopher Coupler was in first place. William Kima, who was the novice winner, was in second. And Gary Hughes Sr., the over 50 winner in the Masters, was the third place winner.
Yeah, that lightweight winner, or the light heavyweight winner, his quads were just absolutely insane.
Yeah, I've seen him compete before last year, I think.
I don't think I've ever seen quads on a young man like I have himself. And the reason why I say that is he was a bigger light heavyweight, but to be the condition that he was in and still have that type of size.
Right.
You know, because as you dry up and as that skin gets closer to the muscle surface and as the muscles push out, you know, sometimes, you know, it can go both ways. Either it can work in your favor or, you know, sometimes your muscles can overfill.
Yeah.
So to have that size and still keep the symmetry, the shape.
Yeah, and that hardness.
And the hardness, and just have that perfect fullness to him. I mean, hats off to him. So
they got straight first too.
I mean, and I agree with it. I mean, when he won the class, I knew as soon as he won his class, I knew right then and there's your overall.
Right.
Because there wasn't, and no knock on any other classes, but I competed. You know, I competed at over 240 pounds. My biggest nemesis was always the lighter guys.
Yeah.
Because they were shorter and they packed a lot of muscle in that short frame.
Right.
Whereas we talked about earlier, if you're tall and you pose tall, you got to bring a lot of muscle.
Right.
Because the muscle becomes longer and it loses its luster and its fullness.
Right.
And, you know, moving up into the heavier classes, you know, the heavyweight and the super heavyweight, while once we get to the super heavyweight, I'll touch on him. You know, this kid, he's Christopher. He's just, man, legs just phenomenal.
All right, then we go to the heavyweights. Only two competitors. O'Brien Robinson was first place, and Benjamin McGee was second.
Yeah, O'Brien won that. You know, clear-handed.
Yeah.
So a good win for him. You know, sometimes I hate to see guys train for, you know, a show of this magnitude and only have one or two other competitors, but you know as well as I know, you know, you can't train in bodybuilding, you can't prepare for who's going to show up.
Yeah.
The only thing you can do is prepare yourself to be the best that you can be.
Right, exactly. And then only one super heavyweight, Ron Jones, who was first place, obviously.
Beautiful physique.
Really?
Yeah, if I was to go back on stage and I had to compete up against him, assuming he came in just a hair drier, and I think he was, I don't think let me back up a little bit. He may have either come in a little crisper, or if he would have put a tan on, he could have really rocked the house. Because his tan was, or I mean, he went on stage just totally, you know, totally, you know, natural skin color. And so
he had no tan.
No, so if he would have, or if he did, it was a very, very, very light coat. He didn't have any tan, or either that, or he didn't have any oil on. Again, if he did have tan, then he just may have manipulated his water just a little bit better.
Yeah.
Him and that light heavyweight would have been going.
Really?
I mean, they would have been going at it because that super heavyweights, he had enough detail and enough structure in his legs to where his upper body would have gave Christopher a run for his money. He would have gave the super heavyweight's upper body would have gave Christopher's lower body a run for their money. You know, when he hit his rear double bicep, he had those beautiful caps. You know, had nice peak on his biceps.
Right.
You know, forearms had beautiful structure going up in his wrist, and the super heavyweight had, you know, tiny joints.
Yeah.
So the tinier the joints, the bigger and the rounder the muscles appear.
Right.
As you know, this sport's nothing but illusion anyways.
Right.
You know, I mean, Dexter Jackson won the Olympia, I think, at barely over 220 pounds. And considering, you know, for an open pro, that's fairly light.
Yeah. And then, of course, Christopher Coupler won the overall, as we said.
It was clear on that. But, you know, not to take anything away from the other classes, if there was one person that would have came, you know, close to it, you know, that's the gentleman that did that was in the super heavy class. If he would just paid a little bit more attention to detail,
right,
you know, we would have been looking at a slugfest.
Okay. So a good show then, huh, Dan?
Very, very good show. You know, Tim puts on. If there's one thing that, you know, that I could emulate from anybody, and except from Tim Gardner, it would be the nuances of promoting the show. Because I will say one thing about Tim, and, you know, he can take it as tooting his horn, but I'm not by any means doing so. For the athletes that are watching, even myself, I sit in the crowd and I'm just enamored by, you know, the way that the shows, you know, are run. You know, I've seen Tim, you know, get on a couple people when maybe they may have messed up just minuscule here and there. But it just goes to show how much attention to detail Tim puts into his shows.
Yeah.
Wants everything to be perfect. With that being said, it just goes to prove that at least on show day, he is putting the athlete first.
Right.
Because he wants everything to be, you know, on point for the athlete. I had one athlete in the show. She finished 5th in figure. You know, Tim even made it a point to, you know, congratulate the people that he saw with their medals on their body. You know, hey, congratulations, good job. You know, and there's not one person like at check-ins says hi to everybody, greets everybody. Thanks to coaches for bringing their people out. And so, you know, for any athlete, you know, I always recommend anybody, you know, athletes come up to me and, you know, hey Dan, you know, I don't have a coach, you know, but I want to get my feet wet, you know, whose show should I do or what show should I do? You know, of course, I mean, being that I work with a lot of natural athletes, I always, you know, want to recommend them to natural shows, but,
right,
you know, of course, Tim does a natural show also, but, you know, I always tell him Tim Gardner's, you know, his production team is,
right,
it's hands down, you know, they're superior. It is what it is. He calls his production team Team Elite, and that's what they are. They are elite.
Okay.
Been in shows in 9 different states, and as far as, you know, I'd say Tim Gardner and Gary Udit, you know, so. You know, Gary Udit, you know, the promoter of the North Americans and the Masters Nationals, you know, those are some pretty smooth running shows. And, you know, Tim's, you know, I even asked my athlete for the feedback and she loved it.
Yeah, okay. All right, Dan, well, thanks for the very detailed report for the Riptide Classic. And you'll be off this weekend, but the following weekend you'll be in Puerto Rico on the same weekend as my show. And you'll give us a report on that show, huh? The Puerto Rico show.
Report on Puerto Rico. I got a couple athletes doing your show, and of course you'll see Melissa Allen there.
Yeah.
She'll be there in my place, and you know, but yeah, I'm looking forward to Puerto Rico. Have never been there, and then this is going to be the first time that the IFBB will be there.
Yeah.
So you know, it'll be a good time. Going to go down there and celebrate a belated birthday with my wife down there, and kick back and relax a little bit after the show, and you know, then we'll hit the ground full steam running in the 1st of January, and my next Florida show that I'll cover for you will be Bill Wilmore, myself, and IFBB Bikini Pro Jade Carroll.
Okay, great. Well, thank you again, Dan.
No problem.
Hope you had a great birthday at the Riptide.
Yeah.
And thanks for joining us again on FloridaPhysique.com.
All right.
All right, welcome back to the Florida Physique Report, and my guest this week is Bryan Raymond. And Bryan is promoting the Progress and Pride competition that takes place this weekend, May 23rd, at the Bonita Performing Arts Center out in Bonita Springs, Florida. How you doing, Bryan?
Good. How you doing?
I'm good.
Awesome.
So tell us a little bit about your background, Bryan. I know this is your first time promoting. So tell us a little bit about your background and about the show a little bit.
Well, I've been lifting for 19 years.
Okay.
I've been training for 15. I do training. I do nutrition. I own a gym in Fort Myers. I've been competing in bodybuilding since 2005.
Okay.
So quite a number of shows. So been backstage for a lot of time. Know what all the competitors go through.
Right.
Looking to further the sport and kind of grow more passion in the sport. So kind of went forth to try to see if we could pick up a show, and we were lucky enough to get one.
Okay. Now this show here, the Progress and Pride, that takes the place of what was the show last year that you sort of replaced it?
The Gulf Coast Classic.
Gold Coast Classic. Okay. So this is your first year doing the Progress and Pride. Why do you call it Progress and Pride?
The Progress and Pride actually, it's our fitness apparel line, but it was never actually meant to be anything at all. You know, me and the wife were driving down to the Keys, and she said she wanted to compete, and I said, oh, we should have a cool team name for ourselves. We came up with that, and then I made her some warm-ups, and people liked it. It turned into a clothing line, and now it's a bodybuilding show.
Okay, cool.
So
what do you got planned for the show? I mean, your first time out, it's got to be a little nervous. I know the first time I promoted the show, you got a million things going on, even though you've been around shows forever like I have. What do you got planned for the show this weekend?
We'll be at the Performing Arts Center in Bonita.
Okay.
Great venue, awesome layout, not a bad seat. Steve Hess from the Denver Nuggets, he's the assistant coach, the strength and conditioning coach. He's going to be there. He's going to be our MC.
Oh, great.
Yeah, he really knows how to, I think it might be his accent, but he really knows how to get the crowd going, get everybody pumped up. We have phenomenal guest poser, Santi Aragon.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, everybody's really looking forward to seeing him.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a lot of stuff. The nice thing about this is we took a competitor's view. So the whole show is based around the competitors.
Okay.
Backstage, everything. Everyone backstage is a competitor. They've been there. They know what everybody's going through. We have people that are just going to be there to help people pump up. We have really good, amazing expediters. Mick actually just won the Europa. He took the overall in the entire show. He's our head expediter.
Yeah, Mick looked great.
Yeah, no, he did. So, especially for him just kind of deciding to do one.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I said, it's an awesome venue, and we just kind of want all the competitors to really love the sport, like me and my wife do, and want to come back every year.
Yeah. Yeah, Santiago Aragon is a Florida resident, and he won the welterweight class at the Nationals last year. He looked phenomenal. I was at that Nationals. I saw him win that. And I think this is his first guest posing, right, since he turned pro?
I believe so. I know he's got one or two booked after this, but I think this is my first one. So I mean, we're real lucky that we got him. He's just a phenomenal guest poser. He just looks huge when he gets out on stage. I really think that he'll bring the crowd up and get everybody going. So motivate some people.
He puts more into his routines too. He dresses up and comes out with costumes, and that's really cool for a guest poser.
Heck yeah! Hey, I'm stealing him myself. I'm getting a session with some posing off him.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Hey, while he's here, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, that's one thing I noticed about him last year that really made him stand out was that he was really a great poser, and I talked to him about that because we did an interview with him on this show, and I said most people today don't put any time into posing, and I could tell he's really admired guys like Lee Labrada and Bob Paris in the past, because you could tell he's really got a phenomenal posing routine.
Yeah, no, he definitely did his research. He definitely put some time in on it. So
yeah.
I think he'll bring a good crowd and really raise the house.
Yeah. Now you guys are in the same area as where the Naples-Bonita Classic last week was in. How you say that? Immokalee?
Yeah,
the casino was.
Yeah, Immokalee. Yep.
So you should hopefully get some people from that contest because they had a pretty big turnout. So since it's in the same area, I would think you get a lot of people going into your show also.
That's what we're hoping. We know that we had a couple challenges. One was that we were the weekend preceding them, and we were on a holiday weekend.
Yeah.
But it's only 7 days out.
Yeah.
So it's not that hard for people to keep diving down.
Yeah.
But for the competitors of that, we did $20 off and no late fees because we
Oh,
figured
nice.
guard prepped.
Uh-huh.
You know, maybe you didn't place as well as you thought you should have in that one, and
Yeah.
maybe you knew you could have tweaked a couple things. So here's another chance. So,
Yeah. And sometimes all it takes is 1 week later and you look totally different, you know?
Oh, I've been there.
Yeah. And so for those that were at the Naples-Bonita last year, this is going to be at the same place, right? The Bonita Performing Arts Center.
Yep, no, it's going to be at the exact same venue. They've actually expanded the venue.
Oh, have they? Okay.
So that's one thing with a lot of the sponsors from last year. They had a little issue with like being down the hallways. Well, now they actually enclosed the whole lobby, so it's much larger.
Oh, okay.
Flow, so
Great.
it's gonna be nice.
Yeah, that was a nice venue last year. I remember that place.
Yeah, no, there's a good layout. Like I said, not a bad seat in the entire house. So
Yeah, exactly. So, what shows have you done, Brian? Tell us a little bit about your competitive history.
Oh, I got a pretty long competitive history. Let's see. I mean, I don't know. I think I've done like 2-3 shows a year since 2005. So
Wow,
I mean,
for the last 10 years.
I've pretty much done every show around here at least once.
Okay.
All the way, I've done Southern States 3 times. First time I was ever qualified for nationals, I was like, well, I'm not going to go to nationals. I'm going to go to Southern States because if you do well there, then you should actually be in nationals.
Yeah, that's like a national level show.
I'm saying, holy crap, that's a big show.
Uh-huh.
But, I mean, I started off as a middleweight.
Okay.
And moved up to light heavy. So I'm a small light heavy, but gotta have time to grow.
Yeah.
So, and the funny thing is that actually Steve Hess, who is the MC, he is actually the one that got me into bodybuilding.
Okay.
I was running a gym. He was down on vacation. Went out on my boat one day with him and his family, and he came in and he was like, I'm going to turn you into a bodybuilder.
Really? Huh.
And was it. I flew to Denver, Colorado. I stayed with him and his family. I trained at the Pepsi Center with the team. That was beginning 2005. I've competed every year since.
Wow, that's great that you got him coming back as your MC too.
Honestly, as soon as I told him, he was like, "I'm booking the ticket right now." And he actually has a 50% tear in his hamstring that he did a couple days ago.
No kidding.
It doesn't need surgery, so he still hopped on the flight, landed yesterday, and
wow. Yeah, well, I think you're surrounded by some good people then, because I think having promoted shows myself in the past, I know it's all about your backstage crew, and if you got guys involved like Mick and and Steve that have been involved in bodybuilding and they know it, they know the sport, that really makes a difference because they're more in tune with what the competitors need.
Yeah, it's nothing more frustrating than being somewhere or not hearing your number called, not having enough time to pump up.
Yeah.
The venue is large enough that it can facilitate everybody, but it's small enough that nobody's going to get lost.
Yeah.
So this way, everybody's going to be on point. I mean, I have extra people because there's a lot of local competitors that I've been friends with through the gym and through competing that they're not going to be competing, but they want to support it, so they're going to be out back making sure that all the first-time people are on point.
Yeah, exactly.
Sherry Enos, I've known her for 15 years. She's going to be doing our expediting on the women's side. And, Sherry's super motivational. She super pumps everybody up. Ashley Savaggio is going to be back there, and her job is basically just to get all the girls just ready to roll.
Right.
So just a really good crew back there.
Oh, great. Well, I always said the best promoters are the people that competed themselves, because then you know what the athlete wants, and you know how to put on a good show, and you know even as a spectator sitting in the audience, you know what you want to see, so you want to do a good job for the audience also.
Yeah, no, all the way down to the competitor bags, we have gone like all about competitor. So
yeah.
It's a lot of shows give you a T-shirt or something with the clothing line. We have the ability to give every person that enters the show a competitive jacket with the show logo on it.
Oh, really? Great.
So, everything's built around the competitor. From the layout to how they go on stage to where the dressing rooms are. I mean, because like you said, we've been there, so
yeah,
nothing's more frustrating because you've been dieting for how long? You're a little moody, little crabby, and then all of a sudden, like things aren't working right.
Right, exactly. So, you want to make sure everything rolls good for the competitors because you know what they've been through yourself.
Well, yeah, and we want them to come back every year. We want to say that was a good show, and that's where we want to be. So
yeah, okay. So what's the website that people can find out about, Brian, in case they want to get some more tickets? I'm sure you'll have tickets at the door also, but.
Yep, the website is Progress and Pride Classic.
Okay.
If you go on there, you can scroll down. You can do you can order the tickets right on there. There's general. The days are 25. The general admission for the night show is 35, and the VIP is 45. VIP entails first 3 rows, center of the auditorium. So there's no good amount of VIP. All the rest of the seating is general, not numbered, and they can order the tickets right on there. And then the hours that they want to come are also posted on the website. Shows the sponsors and has MapQuest on there to get directions.
Okay. All right. Great. Well, we wish you the best of luck, Brian. We'll be out there ourselves for FloridaPhysique.com covering the show. So I know it's your first time out, so we wanted to give you a little publicity and talk about it a little bit. So we wish you the best of luck, and we'll see you this weekend.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Okay, Brian.
All right.
All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us for another edition of the Florida Physique Report, episode number 34. Thanks to our guests, Dan Eslinger and Brian Roberts. And we will be back next week with a report of the Florida Grand Prix, which takes place this weekend out in Lake Worth, Florida. And also, I will give a report on the Progress and Pride Classic, which takes place this weekend in Bonita Springs. So have a great weekend, everybody, and we'll see you next week on the Florida Physique Report.